Real Housewives of New Jersey, darlings. Something new. Um, it's really, what can you say? We still at Teresa's little party, child. And it's nighttime now. Everybody was out there chilling, having a good time. And then everybody's sitting around the table, including Gia's grown ass, which is Teresa's oldest daughter. So they sitting around the table, and Joe, Uncle Joe, Gia's uncle, and Teresa's brother. Everybody's named Joe. Why is everybody named Joe? It's so many Joes. It's like, is that the only damn name in Jersey? Like, what's going on? But anyway, so they sit around talking and stuff, and then Joe says something that triggers Gia. And talking about, liars or people making up stuff or starting something or another. And all of a sudden, Gia, she, starts to get into her uncle, and Uncle Joe was just like, okay, well, Gia, what's going on? What's going on? Let's talk. And then Gia, was just like, well, you just need to practice what you preach, and, the things that's going on with my father. Joe was just like, you don't even know your father, child. You don't even know everything that your daddy done did, and whoop to whoop. So Joe, he was just like, I would never allow my kids to disrespect my aunt or uncle and all this stuff. And Teresa's just sitting there chilling. Child, Gia, she wants to be Teresa, child. Gia got a whole confessional. I say, oh, mama's entitled. So Joe, he walks off because he don't want to put paws on his niece. And so he walks off and walks down the steps, and then here comes Melissa over to them, and Melissa's trying to talk to Gia. And Melissa and Teresa have always went back and forth, but they're not trying to do that, and they've turned over a new leaf. They're not really at that place in their life anymore. And thank God, because they're sister-in-laws, ultimately. And so they're just trying to figure out what's going on. They convinced Gia to go down there and talk to her uncle. Joe's down there cussing at the fool. Teresa's man actually went down there to check on Joe. The same one who Joe was talking shit about during his little tired ass comedy special. So they walk down the steps and stuff, and they start to get into it a little bit. Gia starts to get emotional because she's super close to her uncle, and while her father is incarcerated, all she has is her uncle as her next father figure, besides Louise or Louis, Teresa's boyfriend. But she don't really know that man like that, but she know her uncle. That's her uncle. So they're talking and sitting on the little step, child, and it was an emotional scene. I actually got emotional watching it. It's tough watching families get into it. There's so much passion there. There's so much hurt. It's so much love. It's nothing but love at the end of the day, but you done pissing me off. And I'm mad with you in about 2 seconds, and I'm through with you, and I hate you, and I can't stand you. And guess what? I don't mean none of it. All I want is an apology from your tired ass. So I guess they apologized. Did Joe apologize? I think it was like a mutual thing. They just hugged it out and had a moment. Nobody wants to argue with their nieces, and nobody really wants to argue with their uncle, if they're close to them. So moving on from that, we see, who we see? We see Dolores. We see Dolores and Margaret. Dolores got her own little, bachelorette pad, child. Cute. A bunch of damn steps, though. It's like, oh, child, these steps. And she got all these damn dolls. She said the dolls is jumping off the steps like it's a cliff. She ain't got no railing. So Dolores trying to kill all her guests that come over. But I say, oh, child, you want to come up the steps? No. Not if I'm drinking. Hell, I can barely make it up the steps sober. But you want me to walk up the steps drunk? And the steps it's literally like mountains. It's like a cliff. It goes like, and you ain't got nothing to hold on to. Dolores, stop. Stop it. So anyway, we've been trying to figure out where the hell Dolores' man at. They say they don't know. She said she don't know either. So Dolores' man, what's his name? Frank, whatever his name is. He got a new He got a new woman. Got to. So because the him and Dolores ain't in a relationship no more, and she secretly knows it. She'll admit it at some point. Y'all tell me in the comment section what's tea with Dolores and her husband or boyfriend, whoever he is. Y'all know I just started reviewing the show, child. I know some stuff, but it's a lot of details that I'm not, too familiar with. Shouts out to my girl who commented all the tea last recap of this show. I appreciate you, my love. Yes. So let's see. So they're talking, Margaret and Dolores. Margaret ends up telling Dolores that she don't really fool with her. Margaret ends up telling Dolores that she don't fool with Jennifer because Jennifer's fake and a snake. And Jennifer said all kind of awful things about me. Jennifer came from my mama. Jennifer came for this, came for that. And, she also did some digging because allegedly there was rumors that Jackie's husband, which is not Tiki Barber's wife. I don't know her name, but she's on the show too, but she's not a main housewife. I think I said that in last week's review, but I misspoke. Anyway, Jackie, allegedly Jennifer did some digging on Jackie's husband because allegedly, Jackie's husband was cheating on her, but they found out that it was nothing but a rumor. It wasn't the truth, right? So, she feels like Jennifer's a low down dirty dog, and I'm sick of her. Jennifer, she over at, her little daughter, she had a pool party, and she's over there and eating and stressed out, and, Jackie actually ends up coming over to Jennifer. Now, this before Jackie finds out what Jennifer allegedly did, right? She goes over to her and talks to her. She was just like, look, sister, how you doing? Child, I know what it's like to have these allegations against you about your husband and everything that's going on, but your husband actually did it. My husband didn't do it. They found out my husband didn't do it. But they said that your husband actually did it. So, I mean, how you feeling? That's pretty much what Jackie was giving. Jennifer, she was super emotional, and she was just like, I just want better. And apparently Jennifer puts on facades like her life is this and that, but it's really in shit and shambles like everybody else's. But I do believe that they also pick on Jennifer, and they also come for Jennifer and shocked when she has something back to say. It's like you can't. I say all the time, you never know what offends people. You cannot do something to somebody and then tell them how mad to get. Oh, that's too far, is it? You don't know how what you said hurt me. But because it's not that big of a deal to you, I'm just supposed to let it go. Because, if the tables was turned, you would have let it go. I'm not you. So, yeah, that happened. So anyway, cut to Dolores' little party. Dolores ended up having a housewarming party. Everybody came. All the ladies came. Teresa came late. Everybody looked cute. Jennifer, she got there before Teresa, and she was kind of standoffish, standing off to the side. Melissa don't like Jennifer. Margaret don't like Jennifer. And now Dolores is against Jennifer too, because of what Margaret came over there and told her that she tried to do some digging and ruin Jackie's marriage. So, pretty much half the house is against Jennifer, but Jennifer, she just starts to cry. Jackie goes over there to see about her. It was just like, girl, what's wrong with you? Let's talk. And everybody was just like, girl, what's wrong with you? And Margaret and Dolores is like, sis, you can't just be crying and hooping and hollering after you done started all this shit, sis. It's just not how things work for you. In general, it's just not how things gonna work. And she was just like, I'm just going through a lot. It's too much. It's a lot going on. It's too much. So then they end up spilling the tea that Jennifer was allegedly trying to get dirt on who Jackie's husband was cheating on with. And then Jackie found out, and she was irritated, but she still held Jennifer's side. I don't know much about that Jackie, but I like her. I like that Jackie. And Jennifer don't mess this up with Jackie, because Jennifer don't mess this up with Jackie, because Jackie seems like she's a real one and she got your back, even though she just found out that she was trying to be messy with her husband, allegedly, the mistress of it all. So don't mess this up, Jennifer, because you lose Jackie as a friend, you might get kicked off the show. Because you know how these veterans do, child. You know how they do. They'll stop filming with your ass. They'll do what they can to get you off the show, and it usually works. So don't mess up. You know, it's a tough spot to be in because she wants to be friends with these girls. She wants to be on the show. She wants to be in the circle. But they make it extra difficult. They do. So yeah, I mean, child, it was pretty much the end of the episode. And then Teresa, she tried to judge up some stuff with Jackie because apparently Teresa and Jackie used to beef or whatever back in the day, and Teresa tried to bring some old shit up. It was just like, Teresa, sit your no forehead ass down somewhere. Go on somewhere. Go on somewhere. And it's not the same. She tried to compare the whole situations between Jackie and Jennifer and her and Jackie. And it was just like, girl, go on. Stop. Cut it out. So, yeah, so far this season is keeping my attention and I'm enjoying it because it comes on Tuesday nights when I'm off. And that's always a good thing. Hello? Yeah, like, comment, and subscribe, you guys. Come on now. With that said, I'm MrChalaki. MrChalaki on Google+. Follow me at It's King's World on Instagram and Twitter, at It's King's World 89 on Snapchat, Chase King on Facebook, MrChalaki on Cash App and PayPal. And as always, run me my money, or run me my fade. Run me my money the way I get paid. Stay black, stay tuned, and I'll see you guys later.